Forensic schedule analysis. General principles. Before start the analysis, you should take the following principles into consideration. 1. Use CPM calculations. Calculation of the critical path and float must be based on a CPM schedule with proper logic. 2. Concept of data date must be used. The CPM schedule used for the calculation must employ the concept of the data date or status date. Note that the critical path and float can be computed by commonly available commercial CPM software only for the portion of the schedule forward future of the data date. 3. Shared ownership of network float. In the absence of contrary contractual language, network float, as opposed to project float, is a shared commodity between the owner and the contractor. In such a case, float must be shared in the interest of the project rather than to the sole benefit of one of the parties to the contract. 4. Update float preferred over baseline float. If validated, contemporaneous updates exist. Relative float values for activities in those updates at the time the schedule activity was being performed are considered more reliable compared to relative float values in the baseline for those same activities. 5. Sub-network float values. What is critical in a network model may not be critical when a part of that network is evaluated on its own, and vice versa. The practical implication of this rule is that what is considered critical to a subcontractor in performing its own scope of work may not be critical in the master project network. Similarly, a schedule activity on the critical path of the general contractor's master schedule may carry float on a subcontractor's subnetwork when considered on its own. 6. Delay must affect the critical path. In order for a claimant to be entitled to an extension of contract time for a delay event and further to be considered compensable, the delay must affect the critical path. This is because before a party is entitled to time or allotted compensation for damages, it must show that it was actually damaged. Because conventionally a contractor's delay damages are a function of the overall duration of the project, there must be an increase in the duration of the project. 7. All available schedules must be considered. Regardless of the method selected for analysis, all available sources of planning and schedule data created during the project, including but not limited to various versions of baselines, updates and as-builts, should be examined and considered, even if they are not directly used for the analysis. Kindly don't hesitate to contact us if interested in more lectures in forensic schedule analysis.